Hey, what is going on this morning? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, this is your boy Big Ma. Yeah, this is Big Ma, man, here with you live this morning, this Monday, January the 24th. This is the Genesis block, and today we have a very special Genesis block. We have excuse me, Tonga Relief Genesis block. This whole weekend, we've been basically in the Black Bitcoin Billionaire by way of my man Josh Kimbrough, who's been leading up the efforts. Him and Ryan Lawrence, who's down here as well. You're gonna hear from him in a couple seconds. Have been leading the efforts for what's been going on in Tonga. If you don't watch the news, if you don't know what's going on in the news, over in Tonga, they had a volcano eruption and it really wrecked the entire island. Islands, I should say. So we have to make sure that we understand that they are an island, which means it's very difficult to get things into them. And so Josh, by way of him thinking about what Bitcoin can be used for, was able to put together this thing that we call Airlift Airwaves. That he calls the Airlift Airwaves, and what he's doing is able to take the funds that you all are donating, and I'll let them talk more about it, and be able to get communication, major communication into the island, right? So yeah. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this over to Ryan. But I just want to say, good morning to all of y'all, man. Great morning. Hopefully, let's get your week started off well. But yeah, man, let's get to Ryan, man. And Ryan, let us know what's going on with this Tongan effort, man. And, but before you do that, just shout out to Lord Fasatua, because I always used to mess his name up all the time. I'm probably still messing it up. He is a member of the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. He is one of the legislators over in Tonga, and he is the reason why we are going so hard on this, because he's one of our own, man. Like, let's be all the way real. So yeah, Ryan, what's going on, man? Let us know what's happening, brother.
What's up, everybody? Yes. First and foremost, I'm just going to say shout out to the BBB. Right, over the past couple of hours, we have been able to raise significant funds. Right, you all came through. Our receiving so many messages in the back channel saying, "Hey, I sent this, I did that. I'm sending, that BC1 Bitcoin address to other people in my network, and really making this happen." So shout out to you all. Why is this important, right? Like, why? I know Lamar just mentioned this, but y'all, like, this is a very catastrophic, right? Significant earthquake that took place. Just to put it in reference, geologists think that this earthquake was 500 times more powerful than the nuclear bomb that fell on Hiroshima, right? Like, just to put that into context. So, what did that do? That allowed dirt, debris, right, lava, like large rocks and things to spew into their airways and cause significant damage, right? Like falling from the sky. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4, for the scientists that are out there, you all know that that can lead to acid rain. What does that do? Well, that pollutes any and all of their airways, right? Like, they're literally breathing in cancer causing chemicals at this point in time, as well as pollutes any fresh water supply that they may have, right? And that supply was even further polluted due to the tsunami that then came, right? And you're talking about houses being washed away. You're talking about all of this salt that is there. And then in other parts where the tsunami didn't necessarily take place, you're looking at 200 millimeters, or approximately 8 inches of ash, right? That has blanketed the ground, has blanketed their kingdom, if you will. The impacts, just so people can even put this in further perspective, cut off all comms, right? So that fiber optic cable that many people are hearing about online, that is one thing, but it takes 9 days minimum for a ship to even get there. Not to mention, right, there could be multiple breakages in this fiber optic cable. So it's not going to help them necessarily now, right? And they need the help now. So what does that look like? That looks like Operation Airlift Airways, which is being spearheaded by Josh, as we know, and then just being supported by the broader community. What are we doing? So mission one, if you will, is already a go. What does that look like? That looks like us dropping high frequency, right? Ham, HF radios down, right? Parachute. Why is that piece important? That piece is important so that we further protect the kingdom away from, potentially getting COVID, right? So when you hear in the news, oh, this cargo plane has been turned back, that was because someone there, right, has COVID, right, on that ship, on that plane. So we're not trying to further damage and impact the kingdom, right? We're trying to keep them as safe as they can be. They've only had one confirmed case this entire time, just to put that into perspective. So we're trying to really repair communications, get them to have communications to the rest of the nations, right? And to do that type of thing. So what can you do if you're trying to support? Well, we're calling on the broader Bitcoin community, right? There's an on-chain BTC donation, right? There's a BC1 main chain address. So if you go to airliftairwaves.com and then click on the menu, you will be able to see that drop down. If you're saying, hey, I want to help the people of Tonga, I want to help the world, right? I'm a humanitarian in this effort, right? Bitcoin is global. Then this is what we need from you, right? We have a mission right now to raise 60 million additional sats, right? 60 million additional sats. They'll put us like 2.3, 2.5. And then the ultimate goal right now is to raise 280 million sats, right? We're halfway there, but that money has been used already, right? 140 million sats for mission one. So I just wanted to share that with people so that we can raise 60 million sats over the next couple of hours. That allows mission two, which is to fully restore this microwave repeater that they have, like that is 125 miles away from where they are, to be able to be repaired, right? So that is the goal. That is the mission, to restore comms within the kingdom, and then ultimately use these high frequency ham radios in order for them to have the ability to start communicating, hopefully, with other people in like Fiji, American Samoa, Sydney, Australia, like wherever else that they can get a signal to and really tell us what we need. Shout out to the BBB. Shout out to everybody that has donated so far. This is a worthy cause, and let's keep pushing. Back to you, Big Mar.
Hey, man, listen, this is a real thing, right? And shout out to what Ryan laid it out so well. I would make a joke right here and call him Jerry Lewis because, you know, he's cold with the telethon stuff. But this is not a joking matter, everyone. This is real. Like, there is a country of people who are dealing with a tragedy right now, and it's a far way away. But because Bitcoin is international in its scope, they were able to raise money from everywhere. Ryan and Ed Willie, I know you've been doing a lot of this as well. Ed Willie, these are moderators. Everybody on this stage are moderators within the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. And so I like to just give a real huge shout out. And it's crazy because Josh hit me up and was like, Mar, this is what I want to do. And I was like, bro, you ain't got to ask me for that. Like, anytime that he was like, I just wanted to respect the club and make sure that it was whatever. And I was like, look, whenever y'all trying to help somebody, like, that's what we do in the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. Like, this is who we are. You know what I'm saying? You know, Cicely Tyson, like, is this who we are? You know, this is who we are. You know what I'm saying? So, Ed Willie, can you talk a little bit about how Bitcoin helped to raise this money over a very fast amount of time? Can you talk about that? We can't hear you, Ed. No, can't hear you at all. Yeah,
Well,
try
if
to.
Ed Willie can't speak, if I can, I'm just going to quickly say this, and this is one of the most important pieces, right? Typically, during these disaster relief efforts and things, right? We're going to call it that. You have, you know, the Red Cross, and you have all of these other government agencies and NGOs to come in. With that being said, they typically take 20, 30, 40% of the funds right off top to fund operations, to do all of those things like that. We do not have that, right? And then they require a lot of coordination and talking to this person, talking to that person. We have direct contact, right? Like, if anything that is happening and switching and changing, it's like, okay, cool, gotta go. I need to make this phone call, and it happens, right? So when people say, how is this different than, you know, other organizations or other nonprofits? This is not a nonprofit. This is not an NGO. This is not a government agency that is doing this. This is P2P, right? Peer to peer, person to person, that is making this happen and leveraging the relationships that have been built, leveraging the skill sets and things that are in place. So there is no overhead, right? There's no kickback. There's no, oh, well, my cousin is over this organization, routed through them, and then they routed through somebody else. It's none of that, right? So we have to be very clear. Whatever funds that are being donated are going directly and strictly to help the people of Tonga, right? Like, that is the key. That is the difference for anybody that is thinking, and for anybody that's saying, hey, How do we verify this information? Right? Lamar was just on his site. There is a cryptographically signed key, right? Another powerful piece in Bitcoin that you can insert messages. You can let people know this is who it is, this is what it is, and this is what we're doing. So there's no trusting that has to go on in this. This is the power of the technology, and more so, this is the power of humanity that we're dealing with right now, right? There are no banking days in Bitcoin. There are no absorbent fees and all those other things like that with wires and transfers and whatever. This operation is literally being coordinated across like 4 different continents, 7, 8 different time zones and things. And this is the power of Bitcoin, right? As soon as we get it, we're able to pay you, right? Versus having to wait and do those things. And again, this is not an NGO that is doing this. This is no 501c3. There is no overhead. Your funds and the funding from this strictly go to the people of Tonga and getting them the resources that they need by way of multiple missions, right? It started off as one, now it's like 4. One is fully funded. This is a go. I want people to know that this is live. This is happening. This isn't something that we're thinking about doing. This isn't something that we're planning to do. This is happening now. And that is a big difference versus having to wait 8, 9, 10, 12 days for other people to figure out what they're going to do and navigate politics and stuff. We done cut through all the BS, right? And really doing better stuff to help the people. Back to you, Mark.
Right, man. Gosh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Ed. Good stuff, man. We can hear you now, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah, go ahead, Ed Willie.
Good. So yeah, I mean, the other thing that is just interesting to note, I guess, is that Josh has orange pilled at least one of his suppliers, and he's working on a second one now. Which means one of the things, Mar, that you've always talked about is having the entire supply chain and able to pay them in Bitcoin. So essentially, the donated Bitcoin is going into that centralized account that Josh is managing, and then going back out as Bitcoin to his suppliers, and the whole thing end to end, at least for that one case, if not 2 cases, is Bitcoin end to end. So there's no conversion, there's none of that stuff, and that can all happen globally, full settlement within 10 minutes to an hour or whatever it takes for the confirmations to go through. And that's the real magic of Bitcoin. If this had to be done in fiat, I just can't imagine the hoops that you'd have to jump through. So yeah, I really think that Bitcoin was able to enable this. And I was talking to I was back channeling somebody earlier, and they said they were inspired to donate sats because they had been given sats through the BBB. And I thought it's kind of a need a penny, take a penny, have a penny, give a penny kind of a situation, right? So in the BBB, we have tried to give people Satoshis and give people Bitcoin so that they have it in their hands and they understand the feeling of it, and give them this knowledge. And now it's time to maybe give a little back if you feel so inclined, and only if you have it to give, right? But yeah, I think that it feels very full circle to me. So one of the things I think that I wanted to also add, that Ryan has pointed out, is the plan for the first mission is to airdrop these 55-gallon barrels, and they essentially have all of the equipment to get the shortwave radio up and running. Josh has also created short videos, right, that he is going to put on a tablet in there that explains in the native language how to use this apparatus and how to get everything up and running. So hopefully by, I think he said Saturday or Sunday, if all goes well, we should be receiving the first signals from those airdropped barrels. And then we can really start to get a better picture. So the scary thing right now is that we just don't know, right? So it's all kind of a big question mark. What's the death count? How are people doing? Are people surviving? Are people buried in ash and mud? We just don't know, because communication is out, and that's kind of scary. So I think that will give us a much better picture of what the conditions are like on the ground. And then, with communication back open, we can kind of get a better picture. The other thing I'd like to say is that mission 2, which I don't think is funded yet, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, is to get this microwave transmitter back up and running. So the microwave transmitter is the main communication hub between the northern islands and the southern islands, and it is down right now. And so getting that back up and running will be essentially a major communications win as well, and that's what we're trying to get funded now with the second mission. So it's just, I really think that this is a it's a big win for Bitcoin, and it's a big win for the BBB to say that, look, there's power behind community, and this is a fully decentralized and peer-to-peer activity as far as how we can, mobilize a group and get things going. The other thing I'd like to point out, the way Josh laid everything out for donations is, we always talk to people about just don't send anybody your Bitcoin. And the way Josh was able to do this was, so he had his GitHub and his Twitter account both pointing to the same address. I was able to verify through his GitHub based on his PGP signature that the address was valid. So this is a don't trust verify type situation where you didn't have to trust, and you could verify it. And you could verify it by retweets through known members of the BBB. You could verify it multiple ways from Josh's account. So even if his Twitter account were compromised, you can verify it through his GitHub. There would have had to been multiple compromises to multiple people in the BBB to be able to change that address and have other people get that address. So this is just one of those examples where you don't have to trust no one, right? There are mechanisms and ways that you are able to trust people through multiple validations. And so you can feel good about where that donation is going.
Yeah, man. And Ed, that is huge. Can you talk about how much was already raised? Because I remember when I first spoke to Josh, I think it was about almost 1.5 Bitcoin that he was trying to raise. And I think he raised that pretty rapidly. So can you talk to how much was trying to be raised, how much was raised, and how this stuff is moving this fast? Like, it's really, really fast. Like Josh Kimbrough, shout out to Josh again. Josh Kimbrough, Sam Kimbrough, you know what I'm saying? Definitely Josh is a moderator in the BBB, and Sam is the chef, the biscuit chef of the BBB. I'm trying to get some of those biscuits. But both of them are great participants and great people, just period. And when he came up with the idea, he was trying to raise it, and I was like, man, this is going to be so dope. And immediately it felt like people were coming in because he was pushing really hard. And this is what happens when one individual really wants to get it going, and then we use that one individual to galvanize a community, like Ed Willie said. Can you talk about the amount that was raised and how fast it was raised, and the fact that, like you said, they might have communications as early as this weekend? That's huge, man. Can you talk about that? Do you know the numbers, you and Ryan? I know Ryan was a part of this as well as all you guys were working together. Can either one of you speak to the numbers?
Yeah, I can speak to the numbers really quickly. So 172 million sats were raised. So that's 1.72 BTC. 1.4 Bitcoin was raised like in a matter of in a matter of like minutes to hours, right? That first mission was fully funded. So shout out to that particular donor, right? That said, hey, I support this, and had that significant relationship, right? And this is the power of Bitcoin, because during this time, right, like we can't gloss over the fact that the price of Bitcoin dropped significantly, right? Like if Bitcoin was back up at like 50,000 or 45,000, then the actual USD value, we would be asking for significantly less sats, right? But this mission 1 and mission 2 will cost 280 million sats, right, or 2.8 BTC. In order to get mission 2 fully like off the ground and running, we just need 60 million more sats, or 0.6 BTC, and like that would go. But the key piece here to note is that it's never enough, right? Like the more that we can get, if it's 3 whole coins, if it's 4 whole coins, right? That will really support with the retasking of cargo planes and aircraft and saying, hey, you be on standby, or we need to direct this here, or we need to get desalinators in and extra generators in. Okay, cool. Oh, we need another ham radio. Let's meet with this person. Let's do this tasking now. Oh, the technician actually needs to go back, not 3 times that we really planned for, but like 4 times. We can easily do that, right? Like the cost of this, um, mission 2, right, is like 30 something thousand dollars just to get it off the ground. People can convert that to BTC value. And then like 8,000 to 9,000 each trip, right? Each round trip. So we know at least 2 will be needed, and we're planning for a third one. So this is where these numbers, come from, and that's where we are in this fundraising process. Just in full transparency, right? And I asked Josh about this earlier because I was like, whoa, like these numbers really jumped from what I saw like an hour ago. It could happen, but um, part of the Bitcoin was sent out of the wallet and then back in, and that is some accounting that is going on behind the scenes. So for anyone that checks and it shows like 3 whole coins have been received in total, that balance is partially incorrect, right? Like we've talked about this earlier in the day in BBB, but just note that, right? Like no matter what it is, proof of work will be the proof of work that we have to show full accounting and full transparency here. And that is a key piece, right? Like there's no backdoor this and doing all of those things. I just want people to note that we still need like 60 million more sats to fully green light mission 2. And we know, like it's not even a thought, but we know that between the BBB and anybody that's listening, like this can happen, right? And this will happen. Let me just name that. So yeah, 1.72, a little bit over 1.72 BTC has been raised. And yeah, we like 60 million sats away from green lighting mission 2, which is to fully restore that passive microwave repeater that's then going to be used to broadcast and connect the North and the South. So back to you, Mark.
Thank you guys, man. Listen, so I'm gonna let the other
And let's be
mods.
clear too,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I just want people to know and understand that it's, you know, it's not like Josh has time to fill out a business plan and do a bunch of Excel sheets and say, okay, here's these line items and exactly what things are going to cost. He's still trying to source stuff, right? So he's making moves like, because the shortwave equipment has to be standardized based on the instructions in the videos. He's got to get that same piece of equipment multiple times. And he is going to the suppliers, asking them to contact people who already have outstanding orders if they can delay their shipment so he can then receive their equipment, and then they go sort of to the back of the line, right? So this is all happening. It's very agile and very fast, and the money that he is asking for is very kind of a thumb in the air, not 100% sure, right? But I know that everybody on the stage, and I as well, trust in Josh, and that regardless of what is spent, will all be spent helping the people of Tonga, regardless of whether or not it's spent in mission 1 or mission 2 or however that's done. So I just want to be clear with people that there is a goal here, but when we say we need X amount of Bitcoin, that's likely, from what I know of Josh, the bare minimum. So don't be shy and don't say, well, they're almost there, they'll get it. It's important to get him as many resources as possible. The other thing, as far as like the missions go and flying and things like that, the more assets that they have available, the safer they will be. So if instead of a pilot running, 12 to 16 hours a day on flights, they can afford then to go for 2 10-hour flights because we have an extra plane and an extra pilot. So your money will make this mission safer for those doing it, and not just a matter of, here's the limit and here's exactly what we need to get, and anything above and beyond that will just be extra. It's not going to be extra. It's going to make people executing these missions safer, and it's going to be able to maybe it'll get us that one more barrel of equipment that will make a difference for that one more village. So I just wanted to make people aware, they need whatever we can get them. So.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ed Willie, man. So I was going to just open it up to the other mods. And what do you all see from this? Has it inspired you? Like, for me, it's really inspiring because it's like this group, the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, just started a little bit more than a year ago. And all of the things that we've done is just crazy because Lord Fasatua, I hope I said your name right, brother. I call him brother. Hope I said his name right. Lord Fasatua, we met him in the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. And from meeting him in the Black Bitcoin Billionaire and him hanging out with us, I remember when he first came in, there was a guy trying to sell their whole island on some kind of crazy coin or something. And I had a huge debate with him, and that's how I met Lord Fasatua. Because then he became a member of the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. So, of course, I won the debate. But because because of Black Bitcoin Billionaire, this has been on people's hearts, right? Because what has happened is Clubhouse has allowed us to connect all over the globe, and I think it's really, 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 really powerful. So yeah, let me. So I'm gonna open it up to the rest of the mods. We weren't trying to have a long session today because we do have a tax session because today is the first day of tax day, and CJ, the smart guy, is putting together a tax room.
Popped out the room, just so you know.
What'd you say?
I say we lost you on Clubhouse because you got popped out the room.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can get myself back in there. Let's see. But thank you. I appreciate it. Jakumi, I appreciate that. Because I definitely wouldn't have known, man. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff. It dropped us. We back, right? I'm back?
Yeah, we back.
Okay. So yeah, rest of the mods, y'all tune in and tell me what y'all think about this. I would love to hear what you all have to say. Plus, again, I just love seeing all y'all beautiful faces up here, man. It's just so many different colors, so many different like shades. I'm talking about this is Baskin Robbins and Ed Willie brought the vanilla. We appreciate you, Ed Willie, for bringing the vanilla with you. But yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Black Bitcoin Billionaire mods. What's going on, man? What do y'all think about what's going on and how we've come together and galvanized this community?
Hey, this is Charlene. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I just think this is another great example of how Bitcoin can protect and support human rights. I mean, this is a wonderful humanitarian effort, and this is the way it's supposed to be. You guys probably saw the news. There was a gentleman, and I'm going to struggle with his name, Peter Tafatua. He was a very famous Olympic flag bearer. He went viral. He actually just launched a campaign for similar humanitarian efforts, but he used a donation platform. So his goal was to raise 700,000 US dollars or $1 million Australian dollars. But I will tell you, on the platform that he used, he is paying 2.9% plus 30 cents per donation. So all of that money goes to that platform. But in this effort, where you're paying in Bitcoin, all of the money that's collected goes directly to the people. And that's the difference. You know, Ryan pointed this out earlier. There's no overhead. We're not paying people salaries for a large, complex nonprofit organization. We're taking the money that people are collecting and sharing it directly with those who really need it. And that is what Bitcoin is about. And that is the power of this amazing monetary network.
Thank you, Miss Charlene. Appreciate that. Anybody else, man? I would love to hear from. Oh, I see Miss Nasha. Miss Nasha has little man
on Clubhouse again. But I would.
They're kicking us on Clubhouse. That's all right. We still live though. It's good.
I would like to say, man, the speed at which things have moved has been really it's really hit me right here, right? To be able to move so fast, for the group to pull together so quickly, and just for just the support that we've been able to get throughout the community has been amazing. So that is really something that's just hit me right here in the heart. So, you know, I love it. I love it. I love this group. It's been a blessing coming together with all of you. And man, I hope we just keep being able to be blessings to one another and to the greater community. All right. Each one teach one. Each one help one.
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you what. Daddies can't get to crying because you're going to make me cry. So look, I always, when I see fathers crying, for some reason it be hitting me hard, bro. So you can't get to crying. I'll be on here crying with you. But I feel you, man. It does hit you in your heart. And it just, the fact that people have that kind of mentality within our moderator crew. Shout out again to Josh. I can't say it enough. Josh, just for even thinking about it. Do y'all realize, like, even on the stage right now, we got Miss Courtney. We met her because of Black Bitcoin Billionaire. Hold on. Yeah, but I'm trying. Don't get there, Ma. We met her as well from Black Bitcoin Billionaire. And I saw a picture of a Black Bitcoin billionaire in a village in Togo where she's helped, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, these connections that we have been making over this last year have not been in vain. They have been able to sow seeds of joy and love around the globe, y'all, from Togo to Tonga. Now we just need to go Tasmania. We just keep the T's going. You feel me? So, Courtney, speak up about, like, how Black Bitcoin Billionaire and the whole idea that we've come together around Bitcoin, because we've seen it in real time. We saw what happened with the Bitcoin that was able to be raised for what's going on in Tonga, but we also saw feet on the ground. T-Mac, shout out to T-Mac, Bitcoin After Dark, which is so, let me tell you how crazy it is. Bitcoin After Dark used to be run by Josh Kimbrough and T-Mac, right? Terrence Mack. Those two have affected other, like, from Bitcoin After Dark, which I used to mess around with them all the time. They both have affected communities globally from that same little room. Go ahead, Miss Courtney. We got you in here. Let's go ahead and let's hear something from you, sister.
Well, first I want to make sure that the Tonga conversation has run its course, because I don't want to take away from any of that.
Good, you good. I just want to, because right now we're talking about as a whole of what we can do if we start to work together. Like, if we keep that mentality of love, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah. So I always speak my high praises to Black Bitcoin billionaires. I was introduced by Black Regal, so shout out to him for even connecting me with everybody. But yeah, the T-Mac and Josh have played integral roles, and Sam. I don't want to leave her out because she's raised Bitcoin for the village of Catway. So that's growing and doing its thing. But like I said, Black Regal introduced me to everybody, and Lamar, you were the first one. Like, that first day that I came on Clubhouse, and I think it was like a meet and greet that you did, and you like had everybody come on stage and talk about everything that they had going on. And I took the opportunity and talk to the room about QFA, and it was like a few minutes later I got an email that you had made it on the donation, and I don't even think I was off mute, and I was like, babe, that's the guy from Clubhouse. He like made a donation. So like right then and there, like, it just touched me. I'm like, these people are really about what they talk about. So a few conversations later, you always take the opportunity to let me talk about what we're doing. And it was like a few conversations later, T-Mac and Josh reached out, and they're like, hey, how can we help? How can we be a part of what you're doing? And T-Mac is the brainchild of thermal energy and everything. So he offered his expertise and wanted to contribute and see how we can improve and upgrade the solar panels that we already had installed on the first well. And from that conversation, he added, Boeing executives that he had contacts with. And, our team grew from just, 3 of us that had no technical experience to a team of like 7 people. Josh had some conflicts, so he wasn't able to go with us this past time, but the Clubhouse moved to Zoom calls moved to actual meetings and stuff, and our team expanded, and we got planning our trip, and we actually made it happen. So it was myself, my husband, T-Mac, a structural engineering friend that he had, and it was like 7 of us that actually went over to Togo in December. I won't get on the negative aspects of the trip, but obviously we all got sick, but we were able to go to the village of Catway. They were able to see and assess the solar panel well that we already completed there. We're in the works of getting those thermal energies and stuff, plans and stuff to upgrade that well. And we were also able to go to the second well where T-Mac was just blown away. I think most of you guys are friends with him on social media, and he was posting pictures of the water, and it was. I get emotional talking about this because it's really hard to put into words uh, what these people are subject to. You know what I mean? Like in the States, I have a bottle of water right here, and I don't think twice about it. It's clean. I can just drink it. And these people drink water that you won't even step in. You know what I mean? They clean and use this water. And now from that first well, we were able to give over 2,000 people access to clean drinking water. And this next village that we're going to build the well in, it's twice as big with 2 times worse water. You know what I mean? So to have access to the people in this room that are willing to put the work behind the words is just something that I can't even express my gratitude adequately. So I appreciate you, Big Moore, for creating, the BBB. Charlene, Jakumi, you guys always give me the space and time to talk about Cufa. And, every time I've been able to talk in the rooms, I get notifications that people are making donations. So every single dollar, every penny that is contributed to us goes towards this work. So yeah, that's what we're doing. T-Mac, I think he finally got back. So I would love to do a room on Clubhouse or wherever to give you guys the more technical version of what we're doing, because I'm not a technical person. And
Yeah, I think
we can really show you what's going on.
I think what we can do on what we'll wind up doing on Genesis Block is we can do the same thing for what happened over in Togo as well and give it more of a breakdown. I just saw you came in today, so had to bring you up. But everyone, listen, this is what, like, every time I think about Black Bitcoin Billionaire, this is what I always think about. We can be, right? Is this who we are, right? Asking that question. Yes, this is who we are, because this is what we can be. If we continue to just keep working together, if we continue to just keep staying focused on the things that we talk about, generational wealth, self-sovereignty. But we got to remember that generational wealth is just not monetary. Like, generational wealth is the love that we pass down to each other, and the more love we spread to one another so that we can keep doing these types of things and taking care of each other, because you can't really have wealth until you take care and heal the self. You dig what I'm saying? So this is very powerful. This has been an extremely powerful day. I know I wanted to go ahead and cut this off because my man CJ, the smart guy, is right now talking about taxes. I got all these T's on my mind: Tonga, Togo, taxes. So we'll go ahead and start closing out, man. But everybody out there, make sure you go to Airwaves. Let me get it back up here again. It's down at the bottom, actually. Airliftairwaves.com. Again, it's airliftairwaves.com. Make sure you go to airliftairwaves.com. Check it out. If you want to donate, just send Bitcoin directly to that address. You can send it from your Cash App. And like Ed Willie said, somebody was like, I'm going to pay this forward because I got some Bitcoin from the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, and I can pay that forward. You can use your Cash App. You can use your Edge wallet, which Miss Naja talks about in the crypto Virgin Hour. You can use the no, I don't know if you can use that yet. Black Wall Street, yeah, you can use the Black Wall Street app. They've now allowed you to get money out of there as well. So you can use all of these wallets that we've been talking about forever to send money over for Tonga relief. And I'm sure Courtney at some point is going to probably be taking Bitcoin as well. So this is a way that we can use Bitcoin to get money into places without the extra fees like Miss Charlene was talking about. Like, that is so powerful. Miss Charlene was talking about the 2.9%, the 30 cents every single time. Like, why do you have to pay 2.9% to these people? You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. And that's a large amount of money. And that large amount of money that was sent over to take care of that, to take care of what's going on in Tonga, that didn't get a lot of money taken out for middle people, for the middle man, middle person. You know, I got to be correct. The middle, we got to stop saying it's the middle man. Shoot, it could be a middle woman as well. Okay. Anyway, we got to understand, you guys, like, this is what it is all about. And I really want to say thank you, everyone. Shout out to Ryan, Ed Willie, everybody in Black Bitcoin Billionaire, but Ryan, Ed Willie, and most of all, my man Josh Kimbrough for staying up billion hours over the weekend, Not getting
Sam.
any sleep, man. And Sam. Yeah, of course, Sam.
And Regal too. Regal was putting in.
Oh, Regal
hours,
too. I
man.
forgot. Yeah, I'm sorry, Regal. My
Yeah,
bad.
Regal.
And Regal too. Regal was holding it down too. Black Regal. Black Regal, you ain't even said much today, man.
Oh man, y'all said it all. It's all good.
Yeah, Black Regal too, man. Shout out to Sam. Sam is my niece. I got 2 nieces right now that call, no, 3. I got three people that call me Unc on her. Courtney's one of them. Sam is the other. And Miss Erica, who helps out Miss Naja all the time. They always calling me Unc. So I got 3 adopted nieces on her. But I'm not the rich uncle, so I ain't sending you no money. But I love all y'all, man.
Josh is the engine. Sam is the is the mechanic. So she's the one that's taking care of the.
She is the gasoline. Do you hear me? She's the gasoline.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you know who Sam, if you know Sam Kimbrough, she is the gasoline. Y'all hear me? She make that man run, like literally and figuratively. But yeah, thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Nisi, Sam Kimbrough. Shout out to everyone. Thank y'all for everything. This has been a special edition of the Genesis Block, and you know what we say. You know, look, I got to get back over. You know what we say. Live love, love life. If you live love, you'll love your life, man. Until next week.